I've got a nice little rust spot developing on the Durango here, so I already started stripping this off, but let's record it while we go. So I'm going to use this paint stripper device on my drill and take care of all the rust, making sure to strip off a little good paint all the way around to make sure that the problem doesn't continue. So let's hope this works. General purpose adhesive cleaner. This is really good stuff. It's not good to breathe in, so I'm just going to use a little bit here. If I was using a lot more, I'd probably have a mask on and do this in a ventilated area, but just make sure all this stuff is nice and clean. Okay, I'm going to mix up the Bondo. I don't need very much. This is actually probably a lot more than I need. But I'm going to mix this up on a little piece of cardboard here. And the idea is just to fill in any small little divots or scratches in this. And then we'll sand that down. And that'll be a good base for our primer. Get this nice and mixed up. Alright, should be a nice pink consistency like that. And you don't have to use one of these. These little blades here are usually what people use to apply Bondo. So use that. Press it in here. And fill in all the little holes. So we've been letting this dry for about 25 minutes or so. Dry to the touch. Follow the directions on whatever type of body filler you use, but we're going to go ahead and sand this now. It recommends some 120 grit sandpaper. I think this is 220. Since it's such a thin coat, I'm not going to hit it too hard, but let's get this sanded down to a nice smooth finish, and then we can go on to the next step. Alright, that's a nice smooth surface. More adhesive cleaner, just to get all the last little things of dirt off of here. And you want to mask a bigger area than you think you're going to need. The idea is you don't want to have to spray right up to the masked area, otherwise you're going to have a fairly obvious line. So I'm going to try to hit the primer in this area, just barely overlapping the paint. And then our final coats, we will actually go a little bit further out into the good paint, hopefully achieving a fairly decent blend. Make sure you shake the primer up pretty well. I've already done it, but do it a little bit more. then let's give it a little coat. We want light coats. We'll let that dry, and we'll probably do about 2 or 3 coats of primer. Alright, now the second coat. We'll let that dry, and come back later. Probably do some wet sanding here with 800 grit sandpaper. Go over this a couple times and hopefully get it nice and smooth, and then we can maybe work on the final coat. Back, we've got the area prepped. We've got the Bondo on it. We've put a layer of sandable primer on it. We've wet sanded it with 800 grit sandpaper. You can see the duller areas around here in the clear coat. That's from the 800 grit wet sanding. We should be able to muck that out later. Not too worried about that. Right now I'm going to spray a coating of factory match spray paint on this area. Well, here's what it looks like after I've got about 4 coats on the finish here. It's kind of dull. I'm going to have to do some buffing. I'm sure it's not going to look quite as good as factory finish, but we'll see how good we can get it to look. I'm going to let this dry overnight and attack a little bit tomorrow. Alright, we got our final coat dry here. I sprayed about 4 or 5 coats, light coats. Let it dry overnight. I've kind of cleaned the area up. It looks pretty decent. I actually started wet sanding again in this area with 2000 grit sandpaper. I thought I was video recording that, but I apparently didn't turn the video camera on. So anyway, I started doing that, and now I'm going to finish up with some rubbing compound, and also I'm going to use some polishing compound for a last final gloss. I don't really expect this factory match spray can to match the same luster clear coat as the rest of the car, but I think it'll look pretty well. Let's see how good we can get it, and I'm sure I'll be happy with the result, at least for this. Alright, I think I'm satisfied for now. I might work on this a little bit more some other time, maybe when I wax the vehicle, but I think this is pretty good. I can definitely tell it's not perfect, but I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. This only cost me about $12, $15. I don't know how much a professional job would have cost, but I'm sure it's more than that.